is that I've said before, like, the outcome we want is for him to make starts for the Pirates this year in 2025, be in a position to help us win games. He could still make starts, but pitching in the major leagues is important. We wanted him to get that experience, get that feedback, and do it. Started early enough where there was, enough innings where it was a real experience, and that could inform his off season going into 2026. So that was the first thing. Second, it's no secret that he got off to a great start in AAA, and then went through some challenges in AAA the last couple of months, and I think at some point we got concerned that if we wait for some stretch of perfection, we just might see the clock run out and miss that opportunity. So that was in our mind, and then the last thing, which ended up being important in informing kind of the role he's in, is that Donnie's really made it important for most of that group of young pitchers that are here that the starts are earned. If you start today, that doesn't mean we're declaring that you're in the rotation forever. You've earned the next start, and it felt like that bringing Bubba up in this role was just more consistent with that messaging that has gone to the other pitchers. So a combination of those three things, and obviously excited about what he did on Friday, and he's going to get another turn here soon and see what goes from there.
You talked about that stretch where you're waiting for it to get better. At what point did you guys pivot to the bullpen idea?
Yeah, I guess it's probably just within really the last few days before the call-up, within the last week or so. I don't think it was before that. It may have come up earlier in the season because we were, when we brought Ashcraft up, that was, we sort of were trying out that role. So it may have come up in Bubba's case as a question, but I'd say more seriously just within the last week to 10 days.
Is there any concern that you've talked about having guys in the minors force the issue that kind of perform so well that they didn't give you a choice about whether to throw it? Do you feel like maybe that was counterproductive in Bubba's case in any way, that he was pressing and that the command issues weren't so much that he doesn't command his pitches, or that more so that he was putting more pressure on himself just to try to force you to command?
It's possible. I don't want to speak for him exactly how he was feeling. The game will push you around in all kinds of ways. It does that to all of us. And, what's clear is that Bubba is a really, really talented, competitive young pitcher, young athlete. Cares a lot, and he's really important to us. And he went through a little bit of adversity that he, in AAA this year. Some of that may have been, really just stuff that was entirely outside of his control, and some of it maybe was stuff that wasn't in his control. But that's an experience he had, and it's not what you want to go through. But I think in some ways, maybe good long term that he has had to fight through that. And, it was fun seeing him out there.
When you say out of his control, stuff that was out of his control, what do you mean by that?
Just that there always is, right? Like once you're in AAA, you have some control over your performance. You don't have full control over the roster and roster decisions, and to some degree, none of us do. But when you get to the top, it's sort of, you get to that point where it's kind of forced down from above, and until that opportunity opens up, it doesn't open up. It does, you don't have full control over that. Whereas if you're in A-ball and performing for long enough at a high enough level, it's probably a pretty good chance that you're going to move up. And that's changed a little bit once we get to AAA.
On the note of A-ball promotions, if I told you at the beginning of this year that Konnor would end the season in AA, would you have believed me?
Maybe believe. I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have guessed it. Maybe it would have shocked me. But no, I think he's. I wouldn't have put my money on it, but he's earned it, and we decided that whatever happened in AA the rest of the way would be better for him than finishing out the year.
What's your reaction? What's your reaction to some of the players recently talking some frustration and speaking their mind? Any thoughts about them speaking out expectations for this offseason next year?
Competitive, want to win. I share that. We need to be better. lots of different things that go into winning and that the Pirates need to do. That we need to continue to do and focus on and get better. So to me, that's just where it comes from.
Coming back to Bubba and what can he control is an opportunity to start, in the realm of what he can do, whether it's what he's doing on the field, what he's doing between outings, whatever.
I think I missed the first part of the question.
Is him starting something he can't control down the stretch? Does he have that
He
opportunity?
can earn it for sure. Yeah, I mean, like it's not going to be guaranteed like it would be for anybody, but we were open with him that this is the role now, and doesn't mean you can't earn starts at some point, whether that's in September or whatever. So we'll see. We'll let Donnie guide that, going forward. But I think just trying to keep him in the same mindset that we're trying to keep those young pitchers in. Just when it's their turn to pitch, get outs, get as many outs as you can until Donnie comes and takes the ball away from you, help the team win, and then we'll play for the next one.
From your vantage point, quick assessment of what you like to do, so what really saw from 4 innings.
I think the biggest thing is just being able to get back in the zone, like a couple times when he maybe lost the zone for a short period of time, he's able to get it back pretty quickly, and that's just, when he's in the zone, he's ahead of counts, he's going to have a chance to be very successful, so I think that stood out, and certainly just the emotion and passion and joy for the competition. I think that's something that's just a part of who he is, and we've seen it since he signed, and saw that come out on the baseball field. It was cool.
Then you had an option as to where to start Konnor. How do you feel like he's progressed defensively and short?
Really well. It's been again, it's a notice question. We didn't know exactly how the shortstop thing would go. We felt like based on what we did with the draft, it made sense to find out. We were pretty committed to using a bunch of 2025 to find out. We didn't see any downside to finding out. If for some reason shortstop hadn't worked out or wouldn't work out, well then we know there's a side door we can point to. But decided to find out, and he's passed with flying colors.